in about 2009, the Federal Department of Justice got involved in my day job. Okay. There were some good reasons for that. Our services have improved as a result. I'm not totally being critical of that process, but I realized that the government of the most powerful country in the world is busting me on what I write in one piece of paperwork. Right. That was kind of what started pushing me libertarian. It's like, we can't solve the war on drugs. We can't solve the deficit. We can't stop blowing up other countries. But by golly, we can check Fry's paperwork with a magnifying glass. Right. I mean, that was a major turning point in my philosophical growth. Was that shouldn't be that way. Right. The government should be focused on government stuff, not nitpicking at every level. Then you find out that they do the same in environmental levels and regulatory and banking. I mean, they love to be in stuff that I don't think they should be in. So that was one major turning point. The second, like that tipped me again 10 years ago, 15 years ago. What really got me started writing this particular book at this particular time is the story of Shelby Park. So in January of this year, in Eagle Pass, Texas, the border was fairly wide open at that point. There was a public park on the Rio Grande where untold numbers of people were coming through unobstructed. Okay, that park was under the, quote, operational control of the Border Patrol. They were controlling it by letting everybody in. The state of Texas did a little bit of legal research, figured out that, okay, this is what kind of public is this, right? So they figured out that the feds did not have jurisdiction exactly on that piece of property, right? That the feds were on that piece of property with permission, not by right. The state of Texas took operational control of that area, including literally locking the feds out from coming onto that piece of property. So what you got was Texans lined up on one side, Americans lined up on the other side, right? Everybody's law enforcement officers. I'm fully convinced that nobody intended to escalate that. It's great that it didn't escalate, right? I'm not saying that's the way forward. I'm saying that what made me write was the concept that we were one bad guy in the bushes away from Lexington and Concord. We've all seen the gangster movie, right? Where all the drug dealers show up and everybody's got their guns out and don't shoot. No, you put yours down, and the one little scared kid in the back fires and everybody's dead. Right. It's cliche. I felt like that's where we were as a nation in that moment. Not that anybody wanted to, but that we could accidentally end up in a place we didn't want to be. Right. And so that's what got me started on writing this. It's like somebody has got to come out ahead of this and say, well, guys, let's make a deal. Let's figure this out in a way where we don't accidentally, or especially not on purpose, but we don't even accidentally end up in a war.
Get yourself a copy on Amazon or national-divorce.com.